I've I've allowed myself to make very bad friends, and I think that's genuinely been a serious detriment to my social skills too, because I've struggled to make friends. Come to think of it, because I already have bad social skills to begin with, but it's just this weird thing where my social skills just get way worse whenever I just let this stuff get into my head. Because then, like, when I had this encounter with this bad person, now it like has me thinking, oh yeah, what if they were right this whole time? What if I really am this? What if I really am that? What if I, really am not good enough for anyone and don't deserve anyone? And it's bad. And I do believe it's because of just how I've like conditioned my mind into thinking in the certain environments I've been in. Because back then, I couldn't really make friends with anyone at work because in the kind of job I had, it was either 40-year-old moms or underage kids. And I was in that weird in between age where it's just super awkward and you don't know how to talk to them. Don't get me wrong, I still love those people I worked with. They're still very fun to talk to at work, also, bear in mind, and they weren't toxic at all. I think I've only ever had like two. I think in that specific job, I've only ever had to deal with three really bad people, but they end up leaving early anyways and don't end up being there that long for some reason. So I guess I could chalk that down to dumb luck on my part too, which is how I've never had to deal with anybody toxic on a regular basis at my first job, which is insane. But other than that, I think on one end I can't really hate people because I feel like I put myself in a position where I allow myself to just either make friends with bad people or I do make friends with good people, and then in my mind I have this mindset of, oh yeah, let me hurt him before he hurts me, or let me hurt her before she hurts me. Or if I don't, and they were fine, and I was fine, I didn't do anything, it definitely does end up being their fault. Or the rare case of it actually being both our faults, and we kind of both were shitty, to each other in our own right, and that just isn't right. I think what really opened my eyes to this was when a year ago there's this guy at my job who I was getting along with really good. We were the same age, and I got excited because this was the first person who I actually properly talked to since I moved there in England, and I felt sorry. And this is the first person who I properly actually formed a connection with and was like, okay, yeah, we're good friends. I got my first best friend there apparently at that time, and like just had this like weird rose coated lens and was like kind of happy because it's like, hey, I finally got someone I can hang with, and then I could like meet his friends, and then I finally have friends here now that I've moved here. And I don't know if it could have been something I did or it could have been him, but at the end of the day, I do blame some of this on myself and my own social skills, and that may have like rubbed him weird. But he did this thing. He had gotten fired from the job because he kept on no showing for random reasons, and he was a manager at that time. And when it comes to jobs like that, they're way more strict about that kind of thing with managers than they are with associates, essentially. And yeah, he got fired, and I was still trying to stay in touch with him, like letting him know, hey, I still support you. I hope you're okay. If you need anything, let me know. And I think the last time I called him, it was when I was drunk, because yeah, this is before I like got serious about the whole no drinking, no drugs thing, and I drink alcohol every now and then, too. I've only gotten drunk twice though, once in private and another time in public. And the time in public was when I called him. I was super drunk, like hammered out of my mind, and I called him like bringing up the concert. And he was like, dude, go home. Stay home. And I thought it was just a funny moment that he had. But I don't know. I think that was what kind of gave him an indication that there could have been something wrong with me at the time, even though I was just, drunk from a Friday night, and that was it, really. And, some time passes, like a couple weeks later or a couple days later, he calls me. He, no, he doesn't call me. He texts me and, asks me to lend him 25 bucks for gas money so he could get a ride to his job. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll give you $25 for gas money. And I give him the $25 and I told him, okay, yeah, here you go. Yeah, and this was what like genuinely like punched me in the gut, essentially speaking. He, a couple days go by. I ask him how it went and how the job's going. No response. Zero. Like absolutely no response to me at all. And then I try to see and then I see what's going on. Still no response. So I asked the manager who he had a certain relationship with. He was initially friends with her kids. So I asked her what's going on, like if he's okay and stuff, and she ended up saying, yeah, he's fine. He's just in Texas with one of my kids. And I asked what they were doing. And essentially he said, and essentially she said, oh no, they're just in some beach house. And I'm like, oh really? Oh, is he looking for a job or something? And she ended up just saying, oh no, he's just chilling there. And yeah, that was what made me realize that, yeah, he essentially asked me for money, ghosted me, and then when I tried to reach out to him again, blocked me. And, that still really hurts to this day. That still hurts to hear and to, like, have to feel and realize that, somebody did that. And here's the thing, I was so good with him at the time. I legit could have I would have let the guy keep the 25 bucks, that was how good I was with him, too. But, and even now I'm like in a phase where I was like, okay, yeah, keep it, but yeah, that's not happening again. And I'm going to make sure not to do that again with anyone else, too. Because, that genuinely did sting when that happened. And I think it gave me a serious eye opener at that time and made me sort of raise my standards for the kind of people I have in my life too, where it's like, okay, yeah, I need to stop allowing people to do this, and I need to stop allowing myself to let people like this in my life. And I really do need to learn how to assess red flags and stuff. And also, other than that, admittedly work on my social skills myself and, get better at talking to people and interacting with people too. But yeah, that's all I have to say on that matter at the moment, for today at least. Bye.